When you tell people that you're packing up your household and your family and you're moving to Central America, they automatically picture a perfect vacation, the palm trees, the ocean views, and the resorts, rightfully so. But the truth nobody tells you is that changing your geographic location doesn't magically fix a chaotic life. If you don't intentionally change what's happening internally, you'll just find yourself frantically busy in a different country. Hello, family, and welcome to Parenting Abroad. My name is Julia. And if you're new here, which I'm sure many of you are, do me a favor, hit that like and subscribe button. This channel is where we unpack the unpolished, real life reality of designing a global life on your own terms. This isn't going to be those pretty fancy videos where you get scenic views all the time, maybe sometimes, but most of it is just information. My family and I have been living here in the Chiriquí province of Panama. And if you're looking for an honest guide on transitions, logistics, what it actually takes to raise a family abroad, and some valuable resources, who to go to, what channels to watch, this is where you'll get that. You won't be parenting on autopilot or frantically looking for information. So I really am going to need you to hit that subscribe button and turn on the notifications so as we drop a deep dive video like this every single week. Okay? All right, so let's go ahead and get into it. Let's talk about the trap. So the US trap is something that many of us are experiencing, and we were in it. So before we made the leap, we were pretty much trapped, you know. So back in the States, our routine was practically running itself. It was a standard frantic survival mode. We wake up, we rush the kids through the morning, we fight traffic, managing heavy logistics at work, and then we rush back home, trying to manage dinner, overschedule the weekends with activities, just to feel like we were keeping up with the Joneses. And then we repeat it all again on Monday. No rest, no reset, no moment to kind of actually wind down and settle into what was happening. We were parenting on pure autopilot, and we realized that we were chasing a traditional timeline of success and a dream that wasn't actually serving us, our children, in total, our household. So that American dream we knew and aimed for, it no longer existed. It changed. The reality of a dream changed. So we felt like we were more like surviving our days instead of experiencing them. But really quick, before we jump in, how many of you kind of feel like that you're currently stuck in that same exact trap? Like you're on a treadmill and you're just running. Do me a favor, go ahead and drop a comment below and tell me if you're feeling that survival mode right now and you're ready to get out of it. Because that's what this channel is going to support. If you have the dream of living abroad, specifically in Panama, this is the channel where we're going to share that information with you. Okay, let's get into this. So when we finally made the decision to move to Panama, I had the naive idea, right? That the moment we landed, everything would just become peaceful. And I'm not gonna lie, it's very peaceful here in Panama. It's the beauty, the warmth hits you as soon as you leave the airport. Us coming from a colder climate, it was heaven on earth. Not the real heaven, but it felt really great. But here was the reality check that I had to experience. When you strip away the noise of the familiar, all of that you were used to, all that you kind of come accustomed to and adjusted your family and your life to, the hectic routine and the constant moving, you are suddenly forced to take a look at your daily family dynamic under a microscope. You're like, hold up, wait a minute, what is happening? And here in Panama, the Panamanian culture does not run on convenience. So that was something that hit us pretty hard. It runs on a slower relational rhythm, just kind of like you going with the flow. And that's something that we needed, but didn't know it right away. So during our time here, we learned that the culture slowdown can actually be frustrating in the beginning. So if you're used to instant gratification, instant turnarounds, fast-paced systems, running simple errands, managing a home, and coordinating school logistics can really be a little hectic at first, a little frustrating. Panama forces you to slow down. You cannot force the US hustle on this beautiful tropical environment. Panama will win every single time. If you have any questions about what the initial cultural slowdown felt like for our family and how we managed the frustration of adjusting to Panama time, go ahead and drop those questions in the chat. I'm going to be reviewing them, and I want to make sure that I'm engaging with my community and answering questions as much as I can. It's important because when I first came down here, I didn't have that. Okay, so one of my favorite things about moving to Panama with my family is like we literally have the opportunity to design our life from scratch. We get to start from a blank slate. And it's such a beautiful feeling to start over. And I really do love and enjoy the challenges that come with it. So because of the lack of the external pressure and keeping up with the Joneses doesn't necessarily exist here in the way that we were used to, we were really forced to kind of sit down and actively design what we wanted for our children in our life. So for us, it was the beauty of trading in the illusion of convenience for the reality of presence. And it was a beautiful thing for us. We really enjoyed it. I really want to encourage everyone here that living here in Panama is going to change some things for you. Things are going to drastically shift. And Panama doesn't solve all of the problems. It gives you that blank slate, as I mentioned. So when we came here, we came to the conclusion that we wanted to start new and fresh for our children and give them the opportunity to live a lifestyle that we did not have. So one thing I do want to say is that the logistics of moving across borders are heavy. But what is so important is the mindset shift. That is where the real work happens. This is our very first video on the channel. Part 2 is going to be dropping next week. You are not going to want to miss it. So there will be breaking down the dynamics of life in Panama after the honeymoon phase wears off. And I'm pretty sure many of the families understand what a honeymoon phase is. It's like you go on vacation for 3 days and then after that, you're like, okay, what else? And that's exactly what this series is going to break down. So I want to thank you so much for spending some time with me and taking the time to really review my video and drop comments in here. Please do not forget to subscribe and like. This is going to support the channel and get it out to the families who really need it. Do me a favor and take some time this week to lean into the slowdown. Keep designing your life with intention, and I will see you in the next video. Ciao.